Welcome to COM 110 Public Speaking, College of San Mateo. This is your professor, Furman Irigoyen, for the fall semester 2023. We're going to do a little overview of our class syllabus. We'll do a tour of our textbook, as well as I'll highlight the way to navigate through your Canvas class shell. My preferred method of communication is through email, and usually we can do the email through Canvas. That gives me an alert that there's a message and I'm able to return back your message within 24 to 48 hours. My physical location of my office is in Building 15, Room 111, and oftentimes it's probably in our best interest if we needed to meet that we set up a time to meet so I can make sure that I'm in my office when you come by. The textbook we'll be using is called Public Speaking, Your Pathway to Success, the 3rd edition. In order to purchase the correct version of your textbook, just simply click on this link on your syllabus. It'll take you to the purchase page, buy it there, and it is easy as 1, 2, 3. Do not buy any books that are on Amazon or any other resellers because those are previous versions and they will not help you. The reason why we want to get the 3rd edition right off this link is that all of your quizzes are based in that textbook. So in order to take a quiz, you'll have to click on a couple links and that'll take you to your quiz. And with other versions, you're not able to do that. So it is required. You'll notice here that I also have a tech support phone number as well as an email address. I can't stress enough that I am not tech support. I'm not tech support. So if there's any technical issues, you don't know how to log in, I'm not the person to contact. I'm just simply not the person to contact. Obviously, our course is transferable to the CSU and UC, as well as our CSM general education requirements and a course for our comm major. Here are your student learning outcomes for the semester. And as we go through the entire semester, we will hit on all 6 of these outcomes that I want you to be able to demonstrate command of by the end of the semester. One thing I need you guys to understand about public speaking is it's a skill like learning how to ride a bike, and allow me to give you the technical know-how in creating a speech so that you could be successful in our course and when you go develop speeches for outside of class activities. As a result of our class, here are the things that you're going to be able to do. And again, let me teach you how to do all of this stuff. Let me teach you how to do all this stuff, and we'll be in good shape. Our first census is on September 5th, 2023, and my grading is on a straight scale. I don't have plus or minus, and percentages are rounded down. So an A is a 90 to 100, B is 80 to 89, C is a 70 to 79, D is 60 to 69%, and below 59% is an F. Your grade is going to be comprised of participation, a special occasion speech, speech to inform, speech to persuade, and 16 quizzes throughout the semester. As it relates to speech scores, you will see that they are weighted heavier at the end of the semester than they are at the beginning of the semester. When I give you a grade, whether it's a quiz or a speech grade, please review your assignment score promptly and assign scores not questioned within 3 days after the assignment scores have been awarded will be considered final. So in other words, we're not going to go back in time and argue about a score that was completed in September in mid-December. As we get to the final closing time of the semester, you're looking at trying to get as many points as you can. We're not doing that. So you only have 3 days after you get your score to talk to me about it. So we have 3 major speeches in our class, and they are the speech of special occasion, speech to inform, and the speech to persuade. And you'll see that the way I structure things, it's consistent from the first speech we do through the last speech. So obviously before delivering your presentations, your topics have got to be approved by me. If for whatever reason you deliver a speech that is not approved by me, you'll get -5 on your speech grade. We usually also have a peer review of our outline session, and if that outline isn't turned in on time, it's a -5 on that particular speech grade, the final speech grade there. For the informative and persuasive speech, we'll be doing audience surveys, And so if those aren't turned in and filled out by the due date, you will lose -5 from your score for that particular speech assignment. Each of our speeches will require a mandatory practice session before the final submission of your speeches. So if you don't do your practice session, your speech grade will be lowered by 5. Each speech will have a specific time requirement, which will be determined by me. Usually our special occasion speech is about 3 minutes, informative is about 5, and the speech to persuade is between 5 and 6 minutes. Those are our marks, and I will show you how to get those time requirements in the development of your outlines. For the informative and persuasive speech, we will be using bibliographies that are APA formatted. So it'd be like your works cited page, your reference page. Each of our informative and persuasive speeches will require a book, magazine, newspaper, academic journal, and an in-class audience survey. And we don't do Wikipedia in our class, simply just not allowed. Each of our speeches will be delivered extemporaneously. This is not a public reading class, so you need to present your speech accordingly. Anything that you turn in to me in the written form must be typed. I don't do handwriting stuff, I don't do JPEG images, I don't do any of that jazz. Please type it up, and everything you submit in the written form must be in PDF. Our quizzes. So our quizzes, will have about 16 quizzes this semester. They're usually about 15 questions each, and they're directly out of the textbook. So in order to do well on your quizzes, it's pretty important that you read the textbook and study that pretty well. Quizzes usually make up true, false, multiple choice matching, and I need you to select the best answer that is being presented. All of my quizzes are not open book, open note, open web browser, open friend activities. So it's just you, your knowledge, and the question. So here what I did was I put together a class schedule, and you will see that in our Canvas class shell. I'll have the specific dates as to what and when things are due to make it clear, but this kind of gives you an overview. So let me share with you how to read our class schedule here. So week 1 starts on Monday, August 14th. So I just usually start with Monday as our work week, and here are the topics that we'll be covering during week 1. And then I understand that we're meeting on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but start of the work week, that's the date I have here. Here's what we're covering. And for each of these assignments that you have, whether it's a lab module or a topic due or something like that, there's very specific instructions on the assignment page in Canvas. You'll be able to access all of your assignments and their due dates via the class syllabus in Canvas. It's like a tab on the left margin of the page there. And as well as take a look at the calendar that you have in Canvas, and then you'll have everything laid out for our class there for you as of the first day of class. Here I have a very brief description as to the major speeches we're doing this semester, starting with an introductory speech, special occasion, informative, persuasive. But again, further descriptions of these expectations are in our Canvas class shell. But I just wanted to give you a highlight here. As part of your participation portion of your grade, I have a variety of CommLab module assignments, and each of these are in great detail in Canvas, where you will upload your work, and I've got specific instructions. But we are going to have approximately 7 modules this semester that you'll have to do, complete and upload onto Canvas, that make up your participation grade. I don't cover everything in class. I cover the most important stuff that I can to get you prepared for your speeches, but you are responsible for all materials in the chapter when it comes to quizzes and things like that. I usually take roll at the beginning of the class session, so if I call on your name and you're not there, you're considered absent. So I don't do like points for being tardy. I'm not gonna bog myself down in that. Your job is to be there at the appointed hour and stay for the full class session. That is my expectation. So I don't do half credit, or I came in late, or if you're here when I call on you, you're present. If you're not, you're not. For whatever reason, if you get summons for jury duty, please let me know in advance. This isn't like a last second deal that you get jury duty, or you tell me after the fact that you had jury duty and you weren't in class and you missed the assignment. We're not going to do that. Just let me know ahead of time as to what's going on, and then I'm much more inclined to want to help you. We do have a technology policy within our Comm Studies department. I'll let you read that here on the physical copy of your syllabus. You will be required to be able to have internet connection, access to Canvas, and moreover for this class, we are going to be requiring you to do YouTube videos. So you'll need to open a YouTube account, post your videos there, and then provide me the link in the assignment. And Canvas tells us that their site is optimized when using Google Chrome, but I'm going to let you figure that one out yourself there. I do not want to be either video or audio recorded in class. Please do not do this. I do not want to be audio or video recorded while we are in session face-to-face. Here with academic integrity, don't cheat. I really just want to see your work. All right? I want to see your work, your development. That's it. However, if I find out that you were cheating, then you'll get a 0 for the assignment. I do not offer makeup exams, and no late work will be given without prior approval of me. So you have to get prior approval if you'll be late for your work. But within the assignment, I give a lot of flexible time to get this thing submitted. So if you're not able to get the work submitted during this very generous buffer that I've got for you, chances are I'm not going to be able to help you out. As I mentioned earlier, there are no makeups for missed or late quizzes, exams, papers, speeches, and other class exercises. Also, no extra credit opportunities. No extra credit opportunities. I want you to do what I'm asking you to do and do it well. Okay? So that is my expectation. Let's get it right the first time. If for whatever reason our class is an interference with other aspects of your life, which totally happens, and I totally understand, it's your job to drop the course. I don't drop. You are going to have to go drop the course. My primary way of communicating with you is through email, so I'll be using your school email address as well as the email function in Canvas. Here we have the Disability Resource Center, so reasonable accommodations will be provided to eligible students with disabilities. So your eligibility or your accommodations begin when I actually get the letter. So we're not going to do any retroactive makeup work or anything like that. So it's your job to take care of this at the beginning of the semester. And here you'll find their location, their phone numbers, and that sort of thing to help you along. Here we have our Communication Studies Center. You're able to do your work there. It's a great place to focus in on your speech assignments. There's people there that can help you with your assignments. And it's just a great resource to use. And that's located in the College Center in room 220. Of course, we've got the library. Please utilize your librarians, especially when getting help researching your topics. Great staff, and they would totally help you out with your work. I have links and contact information for counseling, as well as personal counseling in the Wellness Center. And then here I have our district's sexual harassment policy. So please, I just hope we don't have to address this matter in our semester. So with that said, let's go take you on the tour to your textbook. Okay, so here we are on the textbook leg of our tour here. Public Speaking, Your Pathway to Success, the 3rd edition. Here on this tab here on says Welcome, you'll see I have a little welcome letter for you. And then here you have access to the syllabus as well as your taking of a syllabus quiz. And that's all on the Welcome tab. Our next tab up here is the chapters. So we have 16 chapters. And if we were to click a chapter, you will see that each chapter has 2 pages to it. And the way to move from the first page to the second page is like through right here. That takes us to our next chapter, and that takes us to our second page of the chapter. And you'll notice that I have PowerPoint slides for each chapter, which you could download here. I also have the Chapter 4 quiz, And in order to start it, it says, your status, begin your attempt here. So all of your quizzes are on the second page of the given chapter. Each chapter has 2 pages. The first page is the content of the chapter, and the second page has your quizzes, your PowerPoints, and your flashcards. So in looking at a standard chapter content, they all run very consistent 1 through 16. So here I have the content, and you'll see all of this information here. Something I'd like you to know is that the way I wrote this textbook, it had the beginning public speaking student in mind. So in other words, I wrote this textbook that a beginning public speaking student can understand what I am talking about. Oftentimes in our textbooks, we write for other professionals in the field, failing to remember that our communication is an audience-centered activity. Towards the end of the chapter, I have a summary. The summary is a pretty detailed summary. Some criticism about my summaries is that they're too long, and I'm fine with that. Because for me, it's really important that you understand the material. In a pinch, you could read the summary and get a pretty gosh darn good grasp of the content of the chapter. And then as we move down, we can hit the next button to get to the second page of the chapter, which would be where our quiz, our PowerPoint slides, and our flashcards are. That's how a standard chapter looks. It's very consistent between chapters 1 through 16. Let me get you over to the resource tab here. This is a very important tab. The 3 main speeches that we're doing this semester are special occasion speeches, informative speeches, and persuasive speeches. And you'll learn that outlining is a huge deal in my classes. Outlining. So in this resource tab, I have a outline checklist. So when you do your outline, you have a checklist of things that you need to make sure you have. And I also have sample outlines for those particular assignments. So you'll see that in the informative speech, I have a variety of different informative speeches here, as well as an informative speech preparation outline checklist. If you were wondering what I grade when you do your speeches, I grade your outlines pretty hard. And something to remember is that if you're wondering what I look for in an outline that I grade, look at the checklist. I just immediately go down the checklist. You kind of know what I'm looking for before the assignment is even assigned. And I have a variety of speech to persuade speeches in outline form, as well as an outline checklist. Here, just for kicks, I've got some links to some famous speeches. I do have some research and statistical databases available to you. When trying to figure out a topic, here are some links you might want to consider. Bibliographies and citing your sources correctly is a very big deal. I have a set of resources for you in generating your bibliography, and we'll learn how to do all of this good stuff in class. Here in your textbook, you can track your grade by going into your grade book, but you can also do that on Canvas. Okay, so all of the textbook and Canvas I have is integrated. And of course, a glossary of all the key terms are back here. But you'll see these key terms in your second page of the various chapters as it relates to that particular chapter. Okay, so that pretty much covers the tour of our textbook. Now we're just going to hop into Canvas and see what that looks like. All right, so here we are at our Canvas homepage for our course. You will see that I have my contact information here. Once again, my preferred method of communicating is through email. Another way through Canvas that you can contact me is over here. You have an inbox and you can email me through there, and that seems to be a pretty seamless process of communication between us. Here you'll see that we have our link to our syllabus. And then if you want to see this video in all of its glory, again, the link will be posted right here for you. I'm going to kind of go down the menu item so you can see what's going on there. A method of communication to you is through the announcements. So through your preferences, please make sure you get those announcements because they are very important. I will be giving you, for example, a public speaking master rubric. And it's the master rubric of what I look for and what I'm going to be grading you on for your speeches. I will also going to be sending you videos like how-to videos to make your life in this class a lot easier. So be on the lookout for those, guys. Let's next move to assignments. I have participation assignments, and I have assignments for your speech for special occasion here. I have assignments for your informative speech. I have assignments for your persuasive speech. And then here you got links to your quiz, but that will be taken through your textbook. So those are integrated. Down here you'll also see I've got class lectures. And all of our class lectures, 1 through 16, are all here. And they're YouTube videos with PowerPoints. And the PowerPoints that I use in the video are also available to you on that second page of your chapter in the textbook that we talked about earlier. So let me show you CommLab module assignment. Here what I'd like you to do is, we'll go to the module 1. And I left a note up here, please complete the CommLab self-reporting form after finishing your assignment. Okay, so once you get done with all of this business, I need you to come back here, click on this link, and then fill out that form so that it gets sent to the CommLab. So these assignments, these CommLab assignments, are usually a 2-part process. I give very specific instructions as to what I'm looking for. If we were to click on this form, let's see what this looks like. Okay, so we clicked on this form, which takes us here. You want to verify what class you belong. So here we've got public speaking 110 class, CRN 95625. You click that, and you click the next button, and then you type in your G number, and then you want to make sure you type in your first and last name. And then here it's asking for the minutes. There's nothing scientific to it. When in doubt, round up. So in other words, if something took you like maybe 35 minutes, but you weren't sure if it was 35, just put down 45 minutes or even an hour. That's fine too. I believe they want you to just put the number of minutes. So 6, the number 6 for 6 minutes, and let's say 90 for 1 hour and a half. Just plug that in. And then you type in the date on when you did this assignment. And then here they got a drop down. So for example, for many of our work, we can do speech practice session for self-evaluation. We can do that. And then we can click next, and then it'll take us to the next screen, but it's a self-explanatory form. And that way we're able to track our numbers in terms of lab use and that sort of thing. Okay, so let's go back to assignments. So when going through all of this stuff on Canvas, it's probably better that you use Google Chrome to get your work in and that sort of thing. For some reason, it just works better. And here, something I'd like you to do is click here to pair your textbook once you get your textbook to the Canvas site. And if you're in Google Chrome, which I think it's wanting you to do, you just click there, and then there's a button that says pair textbook. You click that. And so these, the textbook and your Canvas page will be integrated correctly. I give very thorough instructions to all of your assignments. As we go through this, you will see that we have our grades where you can obviously track your grades. Remember when we talked about when grades get released, you got 3 days to look them over, and if you have questions about them, talk to me about that before the 3-day expiration date. Another thing I want you to keep an eye out on is the syllabus here. I want you to be able to see this button up here, jump to today. For some reason, it takes you to like 2020, which doesn't make any sense. But if you click to jump to today, that we've got assignments for this week and that sort of thing to take care of. Also on your calendar over here, that you're able to click your class so that your assignments and things like that all pop up on your calendar. So with that, we have toured your syllabus, your textbook, and your Canvas class shell. So I want to wish you the best of luck this semester. See you in class.